All right, a very good morning to you, the viewers, and to whoever person interacting with the tutorial. Now, this is the 100th tutorial at my channel. It's video 100, and of course, it's going to be uploaded in April 2025. So, if I can check at Chrome and if I can open YouTube here, then I can access my channel that is around here. I click at it. Yeah, it's right here, and the latest videos I've done were concerning theory of ICT Senior 4. The last two videos I did, they're concerning theory of ICT S4. And of course, the video that I'm going to be doing in this tutorial, the number I'm going to be doing in this video is in line with these numbers of S4 new curriculum. The numbers I've done previously, like this one here, this one was in April 2024. ICT paper 2 item 1, numbers like those, numbers like these ones here. I also did a number concerning a practical item for S4 9 months back here, and I think I did even this one here, that is UNEB sample ICT paper 2 item 1 generating report cards. So like I said, this is video 100 at my channel. I'm so far having 99 videos, and this is the 100th video at my channel. Thank you for the subscribers and for the views at the channel, plus the watch hours that are really increasing at the channel. Now, in this tutorial, I'm going to be doing a question that, of course, I do selected sample questions. So the sample question I selected for this tutorial was this one here. It was item 1. The sample question of item 1 is for ICT. Now this was the question, and of course at my video, the cover photo that's going to be available at this video, it's this one. I designed a cover photo. It's just a small PDF, and the cover photo is going to be looking like that at my latest tutorial. Now the cover photo displays CRESTED environmental conference, because of course the question I'm going to be sharing with you in this tutorial is concerning environmental it's about environmental plastics, environmental recycling of plastic. It's plastics that are at the city CRESTED, and it's just a campaign concerning how the plastic is being utilized, is being disposed of at the environment. So the question is going to be rotating around that, and it's what I'm going to be doing in a sample ICT item 1 selected question. So this is the cover photo that's going to be available at the channel, at the video, like I've said, and this is the question that I'm going to be attempting at this video. Now, according to what I'm having here, I'm having a folder that is set to S4 ICT2 Practical Examination 2024. In this folder, of course, when I open it, there is a paper. The paper is having item 1, and it's the item I'm going to just be doing. And of course, inside the same folder, there are support files. They are having the file I'm going to use, that is plastic waste composition, and the images I'm going to be using concerning plastic bottles that are being disposed of at the city of CRESTED, as I just came up with a city name. Okay, back to the question. I'm going to be sharing the question with you. This is the question. Let me read it first. Let me interpret it first, and then I see what to do with the question. Now, it was item 1. Your city is currently facing a challenge of plastic pollution, where the public recklessly dumps plastic waste anywhere they find, which leads to blockage of trenches in the city, hence leading to floods and waterlogged areas in the city. Now, just like any practical item, I've already identified the problem, and the problem is plastic pollution. That is the problem at the city. It is plastic pollution. So the problem is really plastic pollution. And of course, in any practical item, there's a problem that you're trying to solve. Now, here the problem is plastic pollution, and they're saying that people recklessly dump plastic anywhere, and of course, it's blocking trenches in the city, hence leading to floods and waterlogged areas in the city. So, the plastic also makes the city look very dirty, leading to its bad reputation. Now, you're part of the environment club of your school, and the club decided to make a campaign of picking various plastic materials around the city. Your club secretary counted the number of plastic bottles picked, um, basing on their types, and tabulated them so as to use the data showing percentage composition of each type of plastic bottle in the forthcoming environmental conference, which shall be organized by your club in the city hall in order to sensitize the citizens of your city about environmental protection from plastic waste. Now, the problem in the item is plastic pollution, but they're going an extra mile to explain to us that your club secretary counted the number of plastic bottles picked basing on their types and tabulated them so as to use that data showing percentage composition of each type of plastic bottle in the forthcoming environmental conference, which shall be organized by your city, um, which shall be organized by your club in the city hall, and in order to sensitize the citizens of your city about environmental protection from plastic waste. Now they're telling us that my club secretary has counted the number of plastic bottles in the city that have been dumped according to their various types. And of course, we are going to explain all that in a conference that's going to be taking place in the city hall of the city. Now, the club also wishes to use the data to illustrate graphically. Illustrate graphically. That is also so important. The percentage composition of each type of plastic material during the conference. The club wishes to present this information electronically. This is also important. Electronically, so as to enhance well the speech to the conference audience. The club also wishes to present this data electronically so that speeches can be enhanced at the conference. You have been appointed by your club patron to be the presenter of that day during the conference. They have appointed you to present about the plastics, the illustrations graphically, all that. You've been approached or appointed to do all that in the conference. Now, the records of the number of plastic bottles counted by your club secretary have been recorded in, they have given us a file, this one. So the records of all plastics have been recorded in a file called plastic waste composition.xls. So the records of the plastic are in that file. We shall look for the file in our support folders, and we shall do whatever we want with the file according to the item. And she has also placed the photos of plastic waste captured during your campaign in images support folder. Task: using support files folder provided. Okay, Use a suitable application to make an agenda of your conference program. Use a suitable application to make an agenda of the conference. So that is the first task they want us to do. We should make an agenda for the conference. And also, we're supposed to prepare an electronic presentation on what we are going to deliver to the audience. Now, always in item 1, a learner is supposed to use word processors to solve a problem. A learner is supposed to use spreadsheets to solve a problem. A learner is supposed to use PowerPoint or presentation to solve a problem. And also database can also be used to solve a problem. Now, according to this issue of plastic pollution, the issue of people disposing of plastics, we're supposed to sensitize them, we're supposed to create an agenda, we're supposed to create a presentation. So according to all those, we're supposed to use various programs to, of course, sensitize people about plastic pollution. Now, according to my computer, this is the folder I'm going to be using to solve all this. I'm going to create a folder, of course, and I'm going to rename it according to what I am doing. I'm going to rename it 100 tutorial, and the tutorial, then I put plastic. Sorry, I must type plastic pollution sensitization. And the tutorial plastic pollution sensitization. This is the folder I want to be using in this tutorial. Now let me go back to the question I've been trying to analyze here. Now, according to the question I've been trying to analyze, of course, when you're doing item 1, you should have a starting point. You should have a starting point, a starting program. Now, according to all the question, whatever I've been reading, the starting point is this file called plastic waste composition.xls. So it's Excel, and I'm going to do Excel first. I'm going to do spreadsheets first in this tutorial because of course, it's even appearing before the task. So it's better I do spreadsheet first. I do whatever changes I want. Actually, the changes that have been asked first, then I can add in some creativity because, of course, the questions are wide. They don't have scores. So the learner should add a lot of creativity to grab a lot of scores at a question. Now, according to the file is plastic waste composition.xls, but I think in that file, according to the question, we're supposed to illustrate data graphically. That is a graph, of course. And also, here at what I've colored, they said that your club secretary counted the number of plastic bottles picked based on their types and tabulated them so as to use that data showing percentage composition of each type of plastic bottle in the forthcoming environmental conference. I'm supposed to also show percentage of each type of plastic in the Excel program I'm going to open. And I'm supposed to also create a graph in the Excel program I'm going to open. Now, according to my blueprints, I'm going to be using my blueprints to solve the task, to do whatever I want to be doing in the tutorial. And according to my blueprints, my Excel is looking like this. This is the Excel I came up with, and it's the Excel I'm going to be following in this tutorial. Now, this is the Excel I came up with to solve a challenge or to sensitize people about plastic waste composition. I want to first look for a file that is called, let me first go back and look for the file name. The file is called plastic waste composition.xls. So I'm going to pick the file. The file is right here. The file is going to be available at the video description so that if you're also trying out this question, you can pick the file from there and then you can follow the tutorial while doing some learning. If you don't successfully download the file, you can inbox me, then I can forward the file to you so that you can do the learning as well. So I'm going to copy this file and I'm going to take it to my 100 tutorial, and then I'm going to paste it there, and I'm going to just slightly change the name of the file to something like plastic waste composition Excel loaded. Okay, then I can open it. Now this was the file at first, and I did some changes according to the task. So this is the file. I'm going to enable content. That is so important. You should always enable content at your spreadsheets, at your Access programs, to enable editing of your work. Now this is the record that the secretary came up with, because according to the scenario, it was mentioned that I think it is around here, that the records of the number of plastic bottles counted by your club secretary have been recorded in. So the club secretary recorded the number of plastic bottles in this file, the file I've just loaded previously. And she also placed the photos of the plastic waste captured during the campaign in the images support file. We shall also get to the photos later on. Let us first use the Excel file that I've just loaded. Now I'm going to move in line with this because it's a blueprint I'm following for the tutorial. And of course, I already have plastic bottles. I'm going to reduce the size of this slightly. Sorry. I already have plastic bottles. I already have number of bottles dumped, and I'm going to just calculate the percentage of waste composition, the percentage of each type of bottle that is disposed of to the environment. If I want to calculate the percentage of each type of bottle, what I did is I went to cell A10. My A10 is around here. Then I just typed percentage. If I go to percentage proof, sorry, I went to A12. I think it's A12. I typed total number of plastics. Total number of plastics, because I'm going to compute the percentage of each type of bottle that has been disposed of to the environment. And of course, I'm trying to do a percentage because in the scenario, I've been tasked that I should show the percentage composition of each type of plastic bottle in the forthcoming environmental conference. So I'm going to calculate the percentage of each type of bottle, because of course it was pointed out in the scenario. So before I do the percentage of each type of bottle here, I'm going to first get the total of all the bottles by using equals sum. Then I open bracket, then I just drag to the from the cell B2 to B5. I close, I hit enter, I get my answer, which is here, and then I go to the percentage column. I put equal sign product because I want to compute the percentage product. Of course, I want to get this, that is mineral, because the mineral water bottles, this is the number. I want to just get the number out of this total times 100, then I get its percentage. But I'm supposed to use a knowledge of absolute self-referencing, because all the values here are going to be subjected to the total number of plastics. So a learner here is supposed to have some knowledge concerning absolute self-referencing as taught in Senior 3, that is Spreadsheet 2 in ICT. So a learner is supposed to use knowledge of absolute self-referencing by looking by locking the cells. So equals product B2 times or asterisk this. So I'm going to lock B12. After typing B12, I hit function 4 on the keyboard so that B12 is locked. So I close the bracket, I hit enter, and then sorry, I didn't complete this. I was at asterisk, then I said I click at this, and then I lock it by pressing F4. After pressing F4, it's supposed to be B2 over, sorry about that, over this B12. I press F4, function 4, it locks the B12, and then times 100 because I'm looking for percentage waste composition of mineral water bottles. So that is it. I've locked B12 because all the bottles are going to be subjected to B12 to get a percentage. That's why I've locked the B12. I hit enter, then I drag to the last type of plastic bottle or the last type of plastic. So those are the percentages, but according to my blueprint, they're in red and they don't have any decimal place. I want to just reduce on the decimal places at the number here. I'm going to just reduce by use of this. I remove all of them and then I give it a red color as applied here, and then I can even make it bold because it's a percentage of each type of plastic bottle. You see, it's carbonated soft drinks bottle with the highest percentage because there are very many bottles that are exposed to the environment or that are disposed to the environment. So that is it with the percentage of composition. Then I just went to A10, then I typed percentage proof to see whether my percentages were right. Let me click at this, then I just give it a black color, and here are the percentage proof. I'm supposed to add these percentages. If they add up to 100, then it means I'm right. Equals sum, open bracket, then I drag from this, I drag to the last percentage, C2 to C5, hit enter, and it gives me a 100. That is the right and correct percentage proof. So that is it with the percentage that was wanted at a spreadsheet. You see, I went an extra mile to do some commenting concerning the plastic bottles. I commented, but before I comment, I can add my title, just like that title I added. I came up with the name of a city. I came up with CRESTED as the name of the city, CRESTED City Plastic Bottle Disposal Data as of April 2025. So that is the title that I came up with in spreadsheet. So I'm going to create the same title here by right clicking at number 1, then I select insert. Of course, I'm going to have a new row. I'm going to just highlight the right way. I don't highlight by clicking at the number 1. I highlight by using the white cross. I point at A1. I highlight up to the last part of my work, that is C for now. Then I right click. I select merge. I can just highlight. I go to home. And then I look for merge and center. I can look for merge and center here. And then I type my title I want. So my title is CRESTED City Plastic CRESTED City Plastic Bottle Disposal Data as of April 2025. That was my heading, I think, in the blueprint. Yeah, that is my heading, and of course I just increased the size of the heading by clicking at it. I can just increase the size to something I want that is better. If it is too big, I just increase on the on the column like that. I think that is bigger. Yeah, and I can click at it, then I select, I think I use the color like that. The color is under here. I can select a color like this, then I think I just highlighted this and I gave it a red color. Yeah, that is it. And I think the colors are slightly different. I can use I think a color that is not that dark. Yeah, I think that is better. I can just bold it. CRESTED City plastic bottle disposal data as of April 2025. Okay, according to my blueprint, what else did I do? Let me first comment on percentage waste composition. So I want to comment just on percentage waste composition. So my work is here. I'm going to just add a label that comment on percentage of waste composition. I just decided to comment on it because of course it's really worth it. I should comment on what is really taking place with plastic composition. You see, if you look at the plastic that is disposed of, that is carbonated soft drink bottles, that is too much. So you should comment on it to really sensitize people about what is taking place at the Crested City. Even the empty jerrycans, of course, you comment about it because it is something low. So you comment and then you show people that this is low, and would just remove that completely. The empty jerrycans should completely be disposed of in the right way, and the 3% should at least reduce to a 0%. The disposing of should be really nice. So commenting was also key in spreadsheet, and according to my print, I commented in a way that if C4 is greater or equal to 10, C4 is the percentage waste composition, that if it is greater or equal to 10, I put a comment. And again, if C4 is less than 10, I put another comment. So according to uh, my blueprint, the percentage is done, and I'm heading to a comment. Let me scroll to the comment side. The comment side is here. So a comment is also covered by a learner in senior 3, that is spreadsheet 2. The learner is supposed to know how to comment. It's so important at item 1 of a practical paper, that is ICT. A comment is so crucial. So I'm commenting on this, that equals if anything in C4 is covering the, actually for now it is C, according to my work, it is now C3. If anything in C3 is greater or equal to 10, yes, comma, if anything in C3 is greater or equal to 10, comma, in quotes, very, it's supposed to be very high percentage composition to the environment. Very high percentage, composition to the environment. Yeah, that is the comment, that if anything in C3 is greater or equal to 10, what happens? It is a very high percentage composition to the environment. However, if I put a comma, I go to another if, comma, if anything in C3 is less than 10, comma, what happens? I put low percentage composition, low percentage composition to the environment. I close with two brackets because the arguments are two. Oh, there's a mistake here. Okay, I think it was a comma. Now this is it with my comments. So if you see that at my spreadsheet, I'm getting very high percentage composition to the environment at the first type of plastic because it is 31. That one is so high, and the comment is very high percentage composition to the environment. And if I scroll downwards, all of them are very high, very high, very high. Apart from the three, that is empty jerry cans, those are low. So the number of empty jerry cans that are dumped are low. Actually, sorry about that. The number of the empty jerry cans that are dumped are few, and it's just 3%. That's why the comment is low percentage composition to the environment. If the comment is kind of confusing to you, you can pause and look at my formula area or formula bar up here, and then you put the percentage or the comment in your spreadsheet as well if you're following the tutorial. Now that is it with the comment. I just went on to just give it a color, the color to of course bring out the impression, the creativity, etc. Now the color is just a highlight color. It's not a font color. I use the highlight color, and with the labels, you see this. Increase the size of this. Okay, anyway, with the color, the very high, I highlighted them, then I hold control, I click at this as well, I give it a fill color of red, this one here, and then this one, I just give it some other color, this one here. So I can just click at this, then I go back to fill color, I give it a slightly different color, that is I selected this one here, that is dark blue. That's the color I gave to low percentage composition to the environment. You see, you're trying to communicate what is taking place at the city CRESTED concerning the plastic bottles. I'm trying to communicate what is really taking place at the city concerning the plastic bottles that are dumped. If someone looks at this information, yes, they're going to see the percentages of the different types of plastics that are dumped. They're going to also look at the comments of the plastics that are dumped. And of course, it's what is transpiring in the question. They wanted you to gadget the percentages and the graphs. Before I did a graph, I just came up with a comment. Creativity. I came up with a comment, and then after the comment, I'm going to just add in the graph and a few images. Then I'm going to be heading to another program. Okay, back to my Excel program, and I had commented, and I'm going to the images. The images are always provided for a reason. You can add the images in any program you're using. So according to my Excel, I added the images on top, and there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 5 images. I just added them on top with some colors that can make the Ugandan flag. Crested City. It's a city in Uganda. So I came up with that to, of course, showcase someone's creativity. Okay, now back to my spreadsheet. I'm going to highlight it, then I give it all borders, not forgetting spreadsheet should have all borders. Then I can also right click at the number 1, then I select insert, so that I can have a newly inserted row on top to support the images that I'm going to put there. Let me first highlight this heading, then I can go to merge and center. Margin center. Okay, the first image is of a kid that's trying to pick the bottles from the environment. So I can go back to my support folder. I'm using the images are also going to be available at this video. So if you want the images, you can go to the description of the videos and pick the images. If you can't pick the images, you can still inbox me. I forward the images to you, and then you follow this as well to do exactly what I'm doing. You do some learning. So I want to copy this image. I go to my work and I paste it there. Let me go back to the image, right click at it, select copy. I go to my spreadsheet, right click. Oh, seems it's not active yet. Let me first refresh this. Okay, let me open the image here, and then I can right click at the image here. Not now. Right click, copy image, go to spreadsheet, paste. And paste the image, and then I just reduce on the size so that it fits in the cell, because it's what I did in the blueprint. So it fits there. So if it's fitting there, of course I should increase the size slightly. Okay, yeah, that is image 1, and image 2 is just this, some bottles that have been poorly disposed of. You see, you're trying to sensitize people about what's taking place, and this is the image. So I can open it first, and then I can right click at it and I copy, and then I just go back to my spreadsheet and I paste it there. I can paste it there. No, this is not the image. The image is concerning these bottles that were poorly disposed of. So I can right click and paste it there, and I could just reduce on the size of the image that it fits in the top row. Yeah, so that is it with the image. I can just slightly move it to that so that I can create some space there. And then which other image did I use? I used this image of it's like a home where some bottles are kept. It's here. So I can open it as well. I can copy it, and then I go to my spreadsheet. I paste. Yeah, it's like a home where some bottles have been kept, and then I reduce it so that it fits in the row. Okay, so I can click at the second image. I move it slightly near this one. I can even click at this. I move it with the arrows of the keyboard slightly there. So far, and then some images concerning the bottles that have been poorly dumped. Bottles that have been poorly dumped. So the bottles are here. This is really poor dumping of bottles at the CRESTED environment. So I can right click and then select paste, and then just move it slightly here, and then I put it somewhere. Yeah. Okay. And it seems I put a fifth one. You can just go and pick a fifth image. I think the images are here, and the fifth image is this, of another kid trying to pick the bottles from the environment that have been poorly disposed of. So I can paste it somewhere here. Okay. Yeah, that is it. The images are on top of my work, and of course, before I draw my graph as the last part of the spreadsheet, there's some colors that are put in between the images. So the colors I just put, I can just hold Control, then I scroll to just zoom in. You can zoom in, or you can use the zoom controller, and then I can just pick insert. Under insert I pick a shape. Shapes are here. I can pick that rectangular shape, then I draw it. I can draw it here. I draw it between the images. Yeah, it really fits that. Then I can go to shape fill. I can give it black. Shape outline, no outline. Yeah, so that is a black color, and it's in between the images. If you want to increase the size, you can slightly increase the size so that you're doing away with the white. Yeah, that is black. I can slightly increase the black. Yeah, that is the black color. If I want to put the black color somewhere else, like here, black, yellow, red, click at this, Ctrl C, copy, Ctrl V, paste, and then you move it. You move it here. And I can click at it once again. I go to format, shape fill. I want to give it a yellow color. Shape fill, then I give it yellow. Yeah, easy see it is even red. I can just paste again. Paste. Oh, sorry. You can use let me first undo this. I can click at this, and then I Ctrl C, Ctrl V. I push it here so that I can give it a different color under format, shape fill. I can give it red, black, yellow, red to bring out the colors that were on top of the spreadsheet. Yeah, that is it, and I'm only heading to a graph or graphical representation of data. So according to the scenario, we're supposed to illustrate graphically the percentage composition of each type of plastic during the conference. So I want to display the percentage composition graphically, of course, at spreadsheet. Here I renamed my sheets CRESTED plastic data and graphical data representation. So I'm going to do the same, double tap, sheet 1, CRESTED, I think it was CRESTED plastic data, CRESTED plastic data. Then sheet 2 is graphical data representation. Yes, so data is also supposed to be presented graphically because it was also asked in the scenario that data is to be illustrated graphically by use of percentages of plastic bottles. So according to the blueprint, that is my graph I came up with to represent the percentages of data. That is the data I came up with. So I'm going to the graph I came up with. So I'm going to just go back to my work. I highlight the plastic bottles, then I highlight the percentages, then I go to insert. I draw a graph that is 3D. When I'm highlighting plastic bottle, of course I first highlight this, then I hold Control, I point here, I highlight. Then I go to the graph, I pick 3D. After picking it, I cut it to the appropriate sheet. Of course, after cutting it, I'm supposed to give it x-axis, y-axis according to my blueprint, x, y axis. So of course, at my graph, I want to go to. Of course, I click at the graph, then I go to design, then I go to add chart element, axis titles, horizontal. I type an appropriate uh, label there. So I can use bottle types known. So I can type bottle types known. Yeah, then even the y-axis, I go back to add chat element, then I go to primary vertical, I remove the content that I find there, then I put an appropriate label, and according to my um, blueprint, I named it percentage levels, and then I put a percentage symbol. Percentage levels in brackets. I put my percentage symbol. And yeah, that is it with my labels. Maybe the title. I came up with an appropriate title, CRESTED City Plastic Bottle Disposal Data as of April 2025 percentage waste composition. So that is the appropriate title I came up with. Even at your graph is supposed to have an appropriate title. Of course, you remove this and then you type your appropriate title there. My appropriate title was that I could increase the graphs that I see my title really well. Okay, this is my title, and I can move maybe the shape. I can move the shape. Okay, I can highlight this, then just the colors are for impression. You give it, of course, a color to bring about impression, and these labels, I was just giving them that red color to just, sorry, the red font color to, of course, to bring out that impression of a graph. Now that graph is really a complete one. It's only lacking. It's lacking a legend on the right. So if I want to put a legend, I just go and click at the graph. I go back to format, actually design. I go to add chat element. I select legend, and then I position it to the right. Now that is the graph, and seems I've done almost everything with Excel as according to the item. I've done the graph, I've captured the percentage, I've put the images, I've done almost everything with Excel, and seems I'm getting to this. Okay, this was use a suitable application to make an agenda for your conference program. So they want me to make an agenda for the conference program, and seems I already have Excel. I want to straight away bump into the agenda. I see what I can type into my agenda for the program. Now if I open the blueprint once again, and then I go to the agenda, which I used Word to calculate it. This is my agenda for the program. So this is the agenda of plastic um, composition to the crested environment or to the crested city. This is my agenda I came up with, and it's what I want to design next. Okay, now this is my Excel. Let me close the agenda first, and then I close the Excel. I can close the Excel, then I can save, and I can even close my other Excel I've been using. Now, if you see at my 100th tutorial plastic pollution sensitization, if I open this, this is the Excel I've done so far, and this is my graph I've been doing. Of course, this work is trying to explain what is really taking place at the crested city in terms of plastic bottle composition, and it seems, of course, Excel is not enough in item 1 if a learner only does Excel in this scenario, because according to the question, of course, we're supposed to do Excel, and we're also supposed to design an agenda. An agenda, the appropriate program I used was Word. Word can help you design a really nice looking agenda for your program, and it's what I'm going to do next. I'm going to open Word in my folder. I want to rename it what is here. I'm going to rename it agenda for CRESTED City Conference concerning plastic. Yeah, agenda for CRESTED City Conference concerning plastic. So if I open this, this is my word processor that I'm going to be using to design an agenda for CRESTED City Conference concerning plastic bottles or plastic disposed to the environment. Okay, this is my Word document, and this is my blueprint I used to design the agenda. So my agenda is going to be looking like this. Now, according to my word processor, I designed it in that way to make an agenda. I divided the page into two parts. I was using a shape here. So even at my work I'm going to design the shape, and I insert, I'm going to look for a shape, and I'm going to draw a shape that is covering almost half of my page. So the shape is going to run from the top to the bottom. I'm going to draw it, and it's going to run from the top to the bottom. I want to just increase the size of the shape to push to the bottom. So that is it, and I want to just give it a color that is something like green. Kind of reduce, click at it again, then under format, shape fill, I can give it this according to my agenda. Yeah, so this is it, and of course in my shape I typed some information, because an agenda, it could be printed and it could be given to people who are around the conference to really follow up what is taking place in the conference. So I typed something, of course, in the shape. So this is my shape I'm trying to design. This is it. These images, I need to close them. So I right click at the shape, then I go to add text, and then I type my text according to what I'm doing. This is the text putting there: 1 day conference agenda template. Yeah, and then to this I typed some other information like every individual's obligation to save Crested City from overwhelming plastic. So that is some the information that I typed in my agenda. It's under this. Yes, it's under this. I could just reduce the size, and then I just paste it there, that every individual's obligation to save Crested City from overwhelming plastic. So that is it with the shape. It's the information I typed there, and I went straight to this heading, that an agenda concerning the Crested City plastic bottle disposal for the conference program. Yeah, it's what I typed here, so I can put my cursor here, and then I paste, and then I can just reduce on the size so that it doesn't overwhelm my shape. Yeah, agenda. Okay, let me undo this. Seems it's overflowing to the other shape. Cover photo. Let me close these. Close the images. Close the images. Then this. Okay, I made the few I want. Back to the agenda of the blueprint. So let me highlight this once again and copy it. I paste it to this. Okay, and then I can just break an agenda, then there, an agenda, enter, then there, enter, then what else? City, enter, bottle, enter, city, enter, bottle, enter. What else? The conference program. The conference program. Yeah. Then I can take back. I can push the shape back to the top. I can push the shape back to the top. Yep. Okay, an agenda concerning the city, the CRESTED City plastic bottle disposal for the conference program. Yeah. Well, if you're finding challenges doing this, you can draw a shape, then you write into the shape, then it can work for you. Then I went straight to a one day. This is just some small information that a one day conference agenda 30th April 2025 CRESTED City Hall. So I just typed that information on where the conference is going to be. So I just typed it there and I straight away went to the table as the last part of the agenda in the second last part of the agenda. Yeah, I designed a table and of course I'm going to just I could insert the table. The table has 3 columns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 rows. 3 columns, 8 rows. So I want to draw a table under insert. I draw a table. Under insert table, then insert 3 columns. The rows are 8. Press this. Yeah, then I just reduce. Let me first click at this. Let me first reduce this. Then after reducing this, I just push. I push my table to the left. Now all these are word processing skills that a learner should have when getting ready for item 1 in a practical exam, because all these are taught in word processing 2 in senior 3, even right from senior 1. So a learner should have all these skills to really maximize the marks or the scores. So this is my table, and of course it should have some information because it's an agenda, some information to follow in the conference. It's an agenda that I'm doing for the conference. Now according to my blueprint, there's a heading that Wednesday 30th 2025. That is the heading in the table. And even here, let me increase the size that I see what I'm doing. Even here, I'm going to just right click and then I merge cells and then I paste. That was the data there. And then back to this time duration, planned activity, location. I can copy this, then I can highlight this also and I paste. Then here I can highlight the time we're going to be following in our conference. So I'm going to highlight this, then I paste the time. And according to the table, it had some colors that are matching the shape and the heading. Of course, back to my table, I'm going to get a pencil pen Under design, I'm going to pick a line like this as an example. Then I give my pen a color, and then I draw on a line to make that border of uh, of a table. Yeah. So I point at exactly the line, then I draw the lines I want. So whatever lines I want, I point at the line, then I draw them. Yeah, that is it. And maybe from 7 to 8, to 9 rather, the planned activity is intros, intros and spreadsheets. So I'm going to be talking about spreadsheets. I'm going to be introducing and talking about the spreadsheet I designed. The location is all one. Here I can talk about presentations, then all one, still in all one, the location. Then here, graphs, maybe studying graphs, all two. Here we can have a break, according to the agenda, can have a break at all three. Then here we shall return for way out, maybe how to solve the plastics, all two, and then this conclusion, all one. Yeah, that's maybe what we're going to be following in the agenda. Also at this, for those with soft copies, find the presentation at the link below. I just created a link to a presentation, but I've not yet designed a presentation, but I can just copy this and then I'll link to it after I've designed it. It's what I'm doing next. So I can highlight that, then I go to this. I can draw another shape. I can draw a shape and I put that information there. Shape fill, no fill, shape outline, I give it an outline that's looking like the colors I've been using in the agenda. Right click at the shape, select add text, and then type whatever you want there. For those with the soft copies, find the presentation at the link below. That for those with a soft copy of the agenda, you can click at the link below to see the presentation of the plastic bottles in CRESTED City. But for those with papers of the agenda, you may not use the link because you already have a paper. But for those with agenda, maybe on their phones, on their laptops, on their computers, etc., they can click at the link we're going to put here to see the presentation concerning the plastic bottles of CRESTED City. Okay, that is the agenda and it is in word processing. That is the agenda. So I can close the word processing. Then I see what else I can do with the question. We shall put a link after designing the presentation. Back to the question. Now, part B was prepare an electronic presentation on what you're going to deliver to your audience during the conference. The question is clear. Prepare an electronic presentation of what you're going to deliver to your audience during the conference. So electronic presentation, that is PowerPoint. So they want you to prepare a PowerPoint program that's going to be used in the in the conference. So the PowerPoint we're going to be using, I can of course create a PowerPoint here and a new, and then I'm going to locate my PowerPoint presentation. I can rename it CRESTED, because the city name I came up with is CRESTED City Plastic Bottle Presentation. Yeah, the renaming is so important. No one is telling you about the renaming, but a learner is supposed to rename appropriately at all items in a practical paper. Okay, this is PowerPoint. I've opened it, and again, of course, according to my blueprint, PowerPoint is here, and if I open it, it's looking like this. This is my presentation. This is my PowerPoint. It is so important in a conference, so it should be eye-catching to the people you're presenting to. That's why I'm trying to put a lot of colors. I put images, I put tables, I put graphs, links, etc, animations, like how I'm going to be explaining. Straight away, without wasting time, I'm going to be using the blueprint to run the PowerPoint while explaining in the video tutorial. Okay, the first slide is going to be a title slide. So even in my work here, I'm going to create a title slide, and I'm going to just be putting some information in the title slide. According to this, I put a heading that CRESTED City Plastic bottle disposal data as of April 2025. Then after that, I put, of course, the presenter name and the date that is automatically generated. So the dates, I just of course put it from insert, then I went to date and time. And of course, you choose the date you want, then you tick update automatically, then you click OK. The date is going to be generated automatically in your work. And I also put an image. This image here, I put it in my presentation. So of course, even here, I'm going to put it around here at my first slide. The colors you're seeing, like the red colors that are mixed with black, that is just highlighting a word like Crested City. I go under home, I give it a color so that it is really unique and it is eye-catching to the viewer. Now under insert, actually under design, there is a format background. I choose a gradient color for my first slide. Okay, slide 2, according to my presentation, slide 2, I talked of the background of the community. I came up with some information here, so even a learner in their work, in their exam, they should come up with some information concerning the plastic bottles that are being disposed of at the Crested City. Of course, I first gave history about the city, that it's located in the central part of the country, formed in the 50s. The city is rapidly growing with aspects of education, security, utilities, among others, but with a growing factor, the city is now facing the challenge of plastic pollution, where the public recklessly dumps plastic waste anywhere they find, which leads to blockage of trenches in the city, hence leading to floods and waterlogged areas in the city. The presentation below is to enlighten the natives of Crested City about what is really happening with plastic. There's a mistake here. With plastic disposal, and provide solutions to curb the issue. This is my heading. I'm just talking about the background, and I've just read it. The background of the city. I can choose title and content. I paste it there. Then the background of the city. It's what I've been reading. I just copy it. However, you should avoid putting a lot of a lot of words in your work, but I just did this to really show the background of the city, and it's really that. It's what I came up with. And for the background, the color, I selected. Let me go to format. I selected a pattern. Even in my work I'm doing here, I can click at design, format, and then I can select a pattern. And the many patterns depends on what you want. Maybe you could want a pattern like that. Anyway, you choose a pattern that's not really covering your work or that's not confusing the people that are reading your work. Of course, if you choose a pattern like that, that is really confusing, or like this, it's even covering your text. So it's better you choose a pattern that's not outshining your work. So that is it with the second slide. Third slide, it's having, of course, a title. The title is Plastic Bottles Disposed Of. What is really happening? And of course, the third slide under home, I create a title and content. The title is Plastic Bottles Disposed Of. What is really happening? And I can, here, I use the table. It's a table just, and the table, I picked it from the support files from this Excel file here. Enable editing. I picked this Control C. Then I went to this and I just counted the rows and columns according to what I've been copying. The columns are 3. The rows are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The rows are 5. So even here, put 3. Rows are 5. Click OK, and I can highlight it and I paste what I've been getting from the other side. So this is just a table of information concerning bottles. You're really showing people what is happening at Crested City. You're showing them what is happening at Crested City, and maybe I could let me look at this. Yes, I could remove the percentage by cutting it, and I could increase on the font of the words to really show the bottle types and the number of bottles that are being disposed of at the community. Back to my blueprint. The background is yellow. So if I want to put a yellow background, I'm going to just click at design. Then I go back to format. Then I choose a solid color that is yellow kind of, or yellow that's not that outshining or covering my work. Be so careful while using colors in PowerPoint. Fourth slide is also a title and content slide, and according to my work, it's of course a graphical representation of data. It's a graphical representation of data, and I could just right click at this, then I copy it and I take it to my PowerPoint I've newly created. I can just paste graphical representation of data. Yeah, and then this graph here was picked from Excel. So if you have your Excel you've created already, so my Excel, mine is around here, the one I started with. I just go and pick this graph, right click at it, select copy, then I go to my PowerPoint, I just right click and paste it. Could increase the size if I want. That is the graphical representation of the percentages of the plastics that are being disposed of, it clearly shows that it is carbonate soft drink bottles that are really being dumped at the environment. The bars are clear. The bars are really clear. And according to my blueprint, I went to slide 5. So at slide 5, it's also a Titan content slide. I just used the heading of use the slide to view all computations made concerning plastic bottles and CRESTED. Slide 5 is supposed to direct people to all the computations that we've been making in CRESTED City concerning the bottles that are dumped recklessly in the community or in the city. Now the work is here, and this is just a link. This is I selected an image. Of course, I'm using images from the support folders. I selected an image. It's right here, and of course, on top of the image, I was putting a link. I can put a link on top of the image according to what I'm trying to do. Okay, then I'm not seeing a shape. I want to use a shape, but I'm not seeing a shape. Anyway, let me first type that click here to view. Click here to view all computations made. Of course, the computations are in Excel. So I want to just select this. Let me first close Excel. I can't link to Excel when it is open. Highlight, make it a link under insert. Hyperlink, then link to Excel. My Excel I'm using is plastic waste composition Excel. Loaded. I click OK, and then I put the image. The image is here. I can just put it at the bottom. Oh yeah. Of course, if I want to see whether the link works, I'm going to just run a slideshow here, and then I just click at the link. If the link directs me to Excel, yeah, then it's good to go. The link really works. It's directing me to Excel, taking me to Excel, so I can close this, and then I go to. Anyway, I give it a color that's it's like the first color. So I can let me close Excel. It's like Excel is open. Yeah, so here I can just go back to design, then I go to gradient, and then I go to the very last slide, that is slide number 6. Insert a slide, Titan content, and then the 6th slide. Because it's a conference, I'm presenting to people what's really happening, and of course you don't only present what's really happening, you can also present the solutions provided to the overwhelming plastic bottle numbers disposed of. Yeah, so here at the slide, I'm going to put a heading: solutions provided to the overwhelming plastic bottle numbers disposed of. Of course, you type some of the solutions. I typed solutions, and there we are. I put the solutions there, and that is it with my presentations. And according to my blueprint, I used some animation, some transitions, of course, all to bring about the impression. I can close the blueprint. This is it here. I can close it. Computer is somehow freezing. Sorry about that. Okay, this is the blueprint. I can click at save. Then I can close both of them. Let me first go back to my folder I'm using. It's really here. It's CRESTED plastic bottle presentation. I've been here. I was saying that I used some animations. Of course, an animation, you're presenting and you bring about impression, transitions. You put different transitions at your slides, etc. Click at a slide, give it a transition. There are many transitions, and then even animations. I can click at animations. I can highlight a title, then I go to add animation, more entrance, zoom or fade. That's an animation. Then I can click to this, highlight a title if you want. More entrance effect, put an animation. Okay, you can even highlight this. You give them various animations, get to learners' creativity and time if you have time in the exam, etc. So those are the different animations that you can give to your texts in the presentations, etc. And also you can make your work just automatic at transitions. You can tick after and then you can give it some seconds. The zeros in the middle, I can start to give it 3 seconds. And I can maybe apply this to all, and then all my slides are going to be automatic after 3 seconds. If I decide to run them at that, you see it's just automatic after some 3 seconds. And that's really a presentation about what's happening at Crested City concerning the plastic bottle composition. etc with all the slides I've just been creating. Now I've done a lot. I can say I've done. I started with Excel, plastic waste composition. I did an agenda that was word processing, and I've just done a presentation that is an electronic presentation, delivering what's really taking place to the audience concerning plastic decomposition or plastic dumping in Crested City. Now, this is optional according to the question. A learner can decide to create a database. It's optional according to the question, but it's also important. I can decide to create a small, simple database. After all, even if I don't create it, it seems I've done a lot. But if you create a database that is new, then I can create a simple database that is crested uh, crested bottle database. Crested bottle database. Then I open it. Of course, I enable content. A database is going to be keeping, of course, data according to what I've been presenting in my work. So I'm creating this database to keep data concerning whatever I've been doing. I want to keep data of Excel. It's like a backup of my Excel program. In case Excel is lost, I can still have my data kept somewhere safe. So I'm going to just import under create. I can import actually under external data. I can import at Excel. Then I browse. Then I look for desktop. I look for the folder 100 tutorial. I click at Excel. Then I click at open. Then okay. You note, according to the Excel I've been creating, I had some images on top and I had a very big title Now that may not be imported in Access, and for numbers where Access is really asked, I repeat, for numbers where Access is really asked, you do not have to put images on top or very big titles on top of Excel because it may affect you when importing. But for numbers where Access is not that required, like this one I'm doing, you may import what you can import. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to import Excel. Now the Excel I'm importing is this one here. The Excel I started with, read only, okay. The images on top are not going to be imported, and this title on top may also not be imported. It could even affect the access, and I'm saying for numbers where database is really important, it's better for you not even to put images on top, or it's even better for you not to put titles on top. It's better for you to only have labels on top of your spreadsheet to make importing really nice and easy. Okay, so when I'm importing, I'm going to click at the cell I want to import. I'm not importing a graph because it's impossible. I'm going to import the first sheet. I click next, then I tick first row contains column headings. I click OK. Then I click next and I can create my column heading manually here because my headings of course have been affected by the images and the other big heading I've been talking of in Excel. So field name, I can put a field name that is I can put bottle types as a field name. Then I click next. I can also, sorry, this is back. This is field 2. I'm supposed to give it a field name. I can rename it numbers. Yeah, I can rename it numbers. Then I can scroll to this. Field 3, you see the way they even displayed. Field 3, I can name it percentages. M, and then field 4, I can name it comments or comments. You may not mind about the way letters are looking like, but I was just renaming the fields because of the images I talked of on top and the big heading I created, which is not reflected in Access. I want to click next, and then I just let, I think I can let Access, let me see the fields I have, number of bottles, percentages, comments. I can choose my own primary key by using in numbers because numbers were unique. Next, and then I rename it CRESTED plastic data table. Yeah, then I click at finish, then okay, click save import, and then save. If I open my table is looking like this. I'm not minding about the F1, F2, F3 because of the images I had on top of Excel and the very big heading I had on top of Excel. Now, this is my work I've imported, and if you have your time in the paper, one item is 1 hour. If you have your time, well, you can go on and create a simple query and add clause. Let me create a query of add all. Let me open my tab and see. I can create a query of the highest number of bottles dumped, that is above 8,000. Highest number of bottles dumped, it's under F2. So under query, I go under F2, I put greater than 8,000. And then I run. Under design, I run. I can rename it highest number of bottles dumped. Okay, can close it. You see, I'm trying to do some access. After all, you may still have your time and you want to use all the 4 programs in the item 1. You see, you're trying to solve an issue with all the office programs in item 1. Note, don't use publisher in item 1. Publication is used in item 2 of a paper senior 4. Now, of course, you've designed your query. You can just go to create and simply design your report wizard. Just use the query, add all, and next, landscape, next, finish, and you have your report displaying the highest bottle type that is being disposed of at Crested City. Highest number of bottle type dumped. Clearly shows that it is carbonated soft drinks. Yeah, that is it with access. That's what you can do with access. I'm not saying that is it all. The questions are open. The questions are so open to a learner. So a learner can use a lot of creativity to do the practical question. I can close this. I can close the report and I can close access as well. Now, according to the video, that is my approach concerning this item 1. The video is kind of lengthy, but if you're watching the video, please take your time, watch whatever I've been doing in the tutorial, because it's what is required in this item. Quickly about what I've been doing spreadsheets. The spreadsheet, I calculated percentages, I put some images, I commented, I put a graph in Excel, and then I created an agenda by using word processing. I put some tables there at the agenda. I typed some of the things to be done in the conference concerning plastic bottles at Crested City. I also designed a presentation concerning the conference of bottles disposed of at Crested City, and also I've just done a database. Just keep my work concerning whatever I've been doing at Crested City. That is my approach to the question, and this is the 100th video at my YouTube channel. I can leave this. I can also close this. This is the 100th video at my YouTube channel. I started by showing you my channel here, and I'm going to be uploading this video as my 100th video. And please feel free to contact the numbers here for more and more, ideas. We can exchange ideas, we can exchange questions. You can comment, and then we see what to do at all my videos I've been doing. Not forgetting advanced level videos are also there. I've been doing some videos at advanced level, like this one is Microsoft Excel advanced level. This one is advanced level database. This one is also advanced level UNEB paper, etc. This one is also advanced level UNEB 2024 theory. There are a lot of videos at the channel, so feel free to go to the channel and do some practice. And then feel free to contact me to see how we can get through all this concerning ICT. That is it with the lengthy video. Feel free to contact me. Feel free to comment. Feel free to subscribe. Feel free to do whatever positive at the channel. A nice time.